What's up, guys? So today we have a very short question from Wack Mane. Wack Man. I don't know. So the question is, please make a video on reading federal paperwork. Yes. I actually have done this already in one video where I talk about another YouTuber who is a rat. And I point out the fact that he tries to say he's not. And I actually show going through Pacer, and I show how I find out that he is. That said, there are a lot of different ways to actually piece it together if someone told on their case. And like all those different ways, I plan on making a video. It'll be obvious. So the videos that are in this video series are me directly answering questions. But I love this. This is a great idea too. Like if you guys have ideas for other videos that you'd like to see, definitely drop them in. Like stuff like this motivates me to actually do those other kind of videos. Now, the other type of that video on federal paperwork is something that I'm going to do, but it's not going to have the Deep Dot Darknet addition to it, because it'll be outside of that series. It'll be part of like the federal prison or the preparing for federal prison playlist that I have. It'll go into there. But yeah, it'll break all of that down, all the different ways that you can tell if someone's no good. And how you can what's a rule 35B? That's like one of the videos that I had. But like that and like a bunch of other stuff I want to have in there so that people know how to read paperwork for themselves. They can look people up for themselves. The federal government is constantly trying to make it so that like they do different things to try to make it so that you don't actually know if someone's cooperating, but they can't. They really can't at the end of the day, because push comes to shove, the person who gets locked up has a right to face their accuser, but they also sometimes as sneaky as prosecutors can be, it's self-evident. It's like in my case, right? Like I got 5 years and then 3 years of probation. My cousin got 3 years of probation with no prison time on a federal conspiracy charge. Like, how do you think that's possible? It's only one way. But like there are other ways that can be confirmed too. So it's pretty crazy because it's like half of it is understanding the paperwork, understanding the law, understanding the logic, understanding the system and how they work. And then the other half is being able to dig into that paperwork and read it and kind of understand it. And I think in the video that I did with the other YouTuber, it's like Matthew Cox, I think, like it's a really good example of that, because I'm on Pacer, which is how you look up federal cases. I'm on Pacer for maybe 45 seconds, maybe a minute and a half tops before we see he's a rat. That's how long it takes me to figure it out. And but that's my point. Like it doesn't take long to, figure this out once you understand the wording, the terminology, like understanding some very basics of the documents and what they write and what they are and what they mean and when they're submitted. And there's a standard procedure that happens for almost all of these things, that you can tell like what's going on and when things are going on, when something shady is going on and when someone's telling. Those are things that you can derive from the things that are written in that documentation. And you get to a point where you can hop in, and you've done it so many times that you already know. You can look at a sentence, might even know. But in that world, especially in prison, like to go out and label someone a rat, you better know. Like you need to know beyond a reasonable doubt. Like the feds can convict you on preponderance of the evidence, but you better know that beyond a reasonable doubt that the man that you're talking about ratted, and you better have that in black and white. Even then, it can be a problem, you know. But like, I mean, I've seen dudes, you know, it's bad, you know, it's bad. That's why it's good to know how to read paperwork on your own, not be reliant on someone else. It's a good skill to have. I look forward to, you know, breaking this down more in a future video. Absolutely. So until then, you know, keep watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.